This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh.
Happy May. Can you guys believe we are in May? Hey kids, how are you? It's been such a long time. Auntie Liz has been very, very busy. And I have missed you guys. When I say missed you guys, I have missed you all. But listen, I have been in such a love fest for myself. Auntie Liz has been loving on herself. So I've, kind of put you guys on the back burner just a little bit so I can love on myself. Speaking of which, I was talking to Reverend Shonta right there. She can't hear a word you guys said. So if you guys want to talk about her scarf, it's fine. Because I can't believe it. She's on the film with Auntie Liz with the scarf on. But I still love her. You understand what I'm saying? And since we're talking about love, today's lesson is about love. Reverend Shonta is like this little love bug. Like she always wants to talk about love. So let's indulge her just a little bit and give her the floor as she gives you guys the best love lesson, the best scriptural love lesson ever that she's ever done. Because she does a whole lot and she's a teacher. So she talks like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. But Reverend Shonta is here to give you guys a spiritual lesson on love. Reverend Shonta, talk to us just a little bit. Got to get her off.
Hey, everybody. I've missed you so. Sooner or later, we'll be seeing each other. And I'm going to just love to see each and every one of you. Although we may not be able to embrace and hug, please know that Reverend Shonta loved you. And I heard those little digs that Auntie Liz was making about Reverend Shonta. That wasn't very loving, was it? She talked about she called my head wrap a scarf.
Guys.
Can you all believe it? We go to Union Temple Baptist Church. We wear some head wraps up in Union Temple, and we
does not love you the way Auntie Liz loves you. You guys know this. These are facts. You understand me? But I will let Reverend Shonta have the floor because she is so great in teaching you guys these Bible lessons. And this one is on love. And I do love Reverend Shonta. She does not love you guys more than I love you guys. Take it away, Reverend Shonta.
Love you, Auntie Liz. Deuces. Love is not a competition. We talked about that the last time we were together, didn't we? And we're going to do a little recap of what we learned about the last time. I think we're even going to stay in this same scripture of 1 Corinthians 13, 4 and 5. So hello, Omni Ministry. I have missed you so much. We're going to continue to talk about the theme of love because we know what does the world need? The world needs a lot of love. The world needs more love than probably we could even muster as an individual. But if we all get together and show our love, boom. I'm not going to talk about the Care Bears today. I said I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to talk about those Care Bears. I love those Care Bears, but I'm not going to talk about it. But there is one that shoots that heart out from their chest, right? That's a lot of love to give out. That's how we want to be. But I digress, which means I'm off topic. Let's get back to the story. So, how many people remember we talked about this the last time? I know you didn't think you're going to get a quiz, but it's almost testing time. So you got to start getting that brain cap together. So last time we talked about how many times love is mentioned in the Bible. And we found out, depending on the version that you're reading, it's mentioned different times. For example, 310 times in the King James Version, 348 times in the New American Standard Bible, 551 times in the New International Version, and 538 times in the New Revised Standard Version. So depending on the version you read, that's a lot of love to go around, a lot of love to spread around. So when you see there's a lot of love that's being spread around in the Word of God, God wants to make sure that you're spreading love to his people. When I saw you last, we use the same scripture, 1 Corinthians 13, 4 and 5. And we talked about how love is patient and love is kind. It does not boast. It doesn't brag. Love is not a competition, Auntie Liz. Love is not a competition, right? Love is patient. Love is kind. It doesn't boast. It's not proud, right? So love just is. It doesn't dishonor other people. It's not mean to other people. So love is just that feeling when it's just like, oh, that feels so good, right? Like a breath of fresh air, right? It's not easily angered and it keeps no record of wrong. Love does not have a checklist saying, I remember when you did that. Let me write that down. You said this to me and you did this. And that's what you said to me. And love doesn't do that. Love does not keep a record of wrong. Love doesn't do that. Okay. And so love doesn't dishonor others. It's not self-seeking and it's not easily angered. And you may say, can you break that verse down again for us? Just a little bit. And so I'm saying, okay, so let's review. Let's review. It's been a minute. So we'll review. And so we'll come back because we're going to talk about this some more, eventually. So, love is a big topic out in the world today. Hopefully it's a big topic in your heart and in your homes and in your head, right? So love is kind and compassionate. That means it's nice, right? You like people to be nice to you? I like people to be nice to me. I like people to be nice to me. I like people to say nice things to me. I like saying nice things to people, right? Even if they're not always that nice, I still like to say nice things to people, right? So in all that goodness and compassion and kindness, when I do that for others, it'll find its way back to me. It'll find its way back. So if I put it out in the world, like that Care Bear, boom, right? If I put it out in the world, guess what? It's going to come back to me. It's going to come back to Reverend Shonta. It's going to come back to me. And then I'm going to be so full of love again. I'm just going to push it right back out to other people and push it back out into the world, right? That's what goodness and compassion and kindness will do. It doesn't show jealousy and hate because hate is the direct opposite of love, right? Antonyms. Ooh, that's right. Let's get our verbiage together. Love is an antonym of hate. Direct opposites, correct? So you won't see love going around saying, hey, don't you hear me? Don't you see me? I'm love. Don't you like me? Don't you want to be around me? Because I'm love. Love doesn't do that. Love is more like, come on in here and get this hug. Come on in here and get this love. What you need, what you got to talk about. What's wrong? Let's get it together. Let's move through this world together and be nice and compassionate and generous to people. That's what love does, right? Love doesn't just roll up on you and be like, hey, you know who I am? I'm love. Show me some love, right? Even though people do play and they say, hey, show me some love. I tried to show y'all some love today. Look at my little backdrop that I found. You know, blue is my favorite color, right? I'm not going to get into why blue is my favorite color today, but blue is my favorite color. So I say, hey, I love that heart. I hope I don't get in trouble for using it. It belongs to somebody, but sometimes you put stuff on the internet and I just want them to know that I love this logo. I love it. I hope you love it too. And so getting back to the lesson, right? So you won't see love going around doing that, right? Because that's not how love treats you. Love is kind, compassionate, nice, and love is an action word. I think we talked about that the last time. We can say that we love somebody, right? We can say, hey, I love you. And just keep on moving, keep on pushing. Deuces, I'm moving, I'm going on. But love is an action word, right? Remember when you were in school, maybe, just maybe, somebody dropped something and they may not have seen it. So you picked it up and you said, hey, you dropped your pencil, you dropped your lunchbox, you dropped your belt, you dropped your shoe. Here's your shoe. That's a loving, kind thing to do. Not walk past them and say, I guess they'll find it when they find it. I guess I hope somebody don't steal it. I hope somebody else don't take it. No, that's not loving, right? Loving says, hey, you dropped something. You need that? Here, that's yours. I saw that come out of your pocket. You want this? I think you might need this. So that's what love does. Love doesn't walk around and say, and turn up his face and turn up his nose. Love is an action word. I think I talked to you all last time about love is taking out the trash before your mother calls you and say, did you take out your trash? Love is cleaning up your room and your mother not going in the room finding socks and everything just all over the room, socks and paper. And I know it's hard. I know it's difficult. I know it's challenging. Y'all hear all those synonyms that I'm using? I'm telling you, I'm gonna get you ready for these tests. I know it is. That's because I love you. I want you to do well. All right. I know it's been rough. It's been challenging. It's been difficult because you in your room or you in the living room and you in school and at home. And I know it's rough, but just sometimes take those socks and pick them up off of the floor and put them in dirty clothes hamper and try to find a matching sock. So then when mommy washes your clothes or daddy or grandma or auntie, whoever washes your clothes, when they wash them, or even if you washing your clothes, you'll find your matching socks, right? I love when I can find all of my socks, all of my son's socks. I keep my socks together. It's nothing that I dislike more than not being able to find my socks or the socks for the people that I'm washing. Might sound strange, right? But I love it. I love a pair of socks. That's what they come in too. You got 2 feet, you need 2 socks. You need 2 footies. Walking around in Mitch Mac socks. What's going on? Okay. So that's what, it's little things like that we can just focus on love, right? And so when you think about it, just think about it for a minute. Just meditate on it for a minute. Just take a deep breath in and let it go. Take another deep breath in and let it out. And breathe in some love. And exhale some love. Breathe it in and exhale. See, doesn't that feel good? Whew, I feel better already about love. And love also, it doesn't boss people around. I know sometimes we get a little feisty, we get a little upset. We may not be, being treated the way that we want to be treated. And sometimes we may not know how to treat other people, but it's not bossy. So if you find yourself bossing someone around, that's not really a loving thing to do. Guess what? Reverend Shonta just had a new grandson. I know you saying, Reverend Shonta, you ain't got no grandkids. You look too young to have grandkids, but I have 3. And oh, excuse me. And I had to tell my big grandson, well, he's 5, and he has a little baby brother now. And he was fuss. I said, you can't fuss at the baby. You have to treat him with love. I said, because when you treat him with love, once he starts talking and moving around, he's going to treat you with love. I said, so you have to start from the crib, right? And I said, be nice to your brother. Give him a little kiss on the forehead. Show him that you love him. Tell him that you love him. Now, the baby's only about 10 days old, so he may not understand all of that, but he does smile. So I think he does understand, even if it's just a little bit. He can feel that he's loved and the people around him are loving him, okay? So love is so good, right? That you want to accept it. You want to receive it. You want to get it, right? You want to get enough of it so that you can give it back out into the world, even when you may not even feel it or realize it. And that's good. And lastly, love is not irritable. What does that mean? Love doesn't get aggravated, right? Love is not irritable. It doesn't get aggravated or upset. Love just says, okay, I'm going to work on that. I'm going to see about that. I'm going to see how this works out. It doesn't say, I don't feel like doing that right now. That's not loving. Loving even might say, I may not be able to do it right now, this minute, but I'm going to make sure that I get it done, and I'm going to make sure that I do it well. Isn't that wonderful? So love doesn't get on your nerves like, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. Like, you don't want to say it like that because then it might get on your nerves a little bit, right? But you do want to let people know that you love them. Because sometimes people have never heard anyone say, I love you to them. So it's good to say, hey, I love you. I love you. I love you. Right? So love also is not resentful. So when you resent something or someone, that's another way of being upset, right? It's another way of being angry because you feel like you have been treated or you may have been treated unfairly. One thing about love is fair, it's equal, it's balanced out, right? It's not going to be lopsided. It's going to be equal. It's going to be fair. Love is going to be fair. It's going to meet somewhere in the middle if there's a problem, right? Love is going to be unselfish. It's going to be marked by loyalty and good and concern about others, caring and kindness about others. So yell out to somebody today or tomorrow or next week or send them a text and just yell out and say, hey, I love you. Tell your mom, your dad, your grandparents, brother, sister, aunt, uncle, friend, just yell out that you love them. Get into the habit. That means do it over and over and over and over and over again. They say anything you do for 30 days becomes a habit. It becomes automatic, right? And just say, I love you. I love you, mom. I love you, little brother. I love you, big sis. I love you, auntie. I love you, uncle. I love you. Just say it. Tell them. Make it a habit that you love them. And just as I stated earlier, the more love you put out, the more love you'll receive. So let's take a minute and show ourselves some self-love. How do you do that? You might look in the mirror, or you might even just look in the camera or look at the video, or you might just hold up a play mirror and tell yourself, I love you. I love you, Reverend Shonta. Tell yourself you love yourself. It's okay. That is okay. You have to tell yourself that you love yourself, because some people say, hey, if you don't tell yourself you love yourself, how do you know what it is when you hear it? How do you know what it feels like when you feel it? So you can even take your arms and you can hug yourself and give yourself a hug and everything, and just let yourself know that you love yourself. Love yourself, and then it's easy to love somebody else, right? And so, do you know it's okay? It's all good. Tell yourself every day that you love yourself. When you pray and you talk to God, tell God that you love him and thank you for loving me, right? Thank you for loving me, and thank you for doing all that you do for me. Tell your parents you love them and you appreciate them and that you will do better in anything that they've asked you. Or maybe you just got it all together, which is great. And so make sure that means that you're getting all of that good love. So let's make sure that we're putting some of that love out into the world. And that's the kind of love that we're going to continue to give out. And that because that's the kind of love that we want to receive. How about that? That's good, right? That's good news. So, what did you learn about love today? You learned that you need to tell somebody. You learned that you need to tell yourself that you love yourself. Tell your parents, your grandparents, your family members, your friends that you love them. And sometimes, even when you can't tell them, you can show it, because love is an action word. Is that good? That's good news for today, right? Okay, so I want you to make sure that you're practicing love, you're practicing compassion, you're practicing kindness, right? I want to make sure that you're doing all of that. I want you to make it a habit. I want you to make it a daily practice to tell somebody you love them, and more importantly, to tell yourself that you love yourself. Is that good? That's good. That's all I got for y'all today. But I'll be talking to you again really soon about love. Here's our lovely Aunt Liz again.
Listen, kids, was that not some great information? When I tell you I have loved on myself, kids, she's talking right. She's talking facts. And so Reverend Shanta, we have like a few seconds. I just want to say this. When somebody is unlovable, are we telling the children that you just have to love them, or how does that thing work? You know, if somebody is just like being so unlovable, like on the playground, or their friends are being really, really mean, what is the way to show love without saying, oh yeah, you can be mean to me, but tell them like in maybe a minute or so?
So, what I would suggest when somebody is being unlovable.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that when people show kindness, genuine kindness, and I'm not saying you never let people mistreat you. I would never tell you to let somebody mistreat you, but you have enough love in yourself so you can walk away and you can deal with that at another time. That's loving. Sometimes people want to be confrontational, which means people want to fight, right? People want to fight. People want to argue. People want to not say nice things, but you don't have to engage in that.
Right.
You don't have to engage in that because you love yourself enough to take yourself out of that situation. And
Okay,
that's
kids.
another way to show that you love yourself. You don't have to sit there and let people be mean to you. Love yourself enough to say, I don't have to deal with this, but I love you anyway. Peace. I'm gone. And that's good.
So kids, listen. Love yourself enough to walk away from some stuff, okay? Love yourself enough not to get angry all the time, especially when your parents tell you what to do. Hey, just, sometimes just gotta do it and just try to love doing it. That's what I always do when I was little. I just love doing it. I would probably be mad, but I go, let me just do it. Because one, if I do it, she'll let me go outside, and that's real love. Come on. So listen, guys, we've had a great time. Y'all give Reverend Shonta a hand. Reverend Shonta, we love you so very much. Always a great lesson, always from the Bible. Y'all, she's on Bible Boulevard. You understand me, young people? She's in the Word. I want y'all to get into the Word. Well, this is another great Omni ministry moment with my kids who I love, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for watching, and stay connected with us by visiting and subscribing to our YouTube channel and all of our social media platforms at Union Temple DC. For more information about ministries and services, visit uniontempledc.com.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine.